If we act on it, we go against God's will. And guess what? We backdate the manifestation. We backdate it. Or no, we push it up. We push it up. We push it up. So you was originally supposed to manifest into your ministry that God has for you in 2022. But because you acted in fear, it was like, oh no, I can't do this particular job.
Your manifestation was rescheduled.
Oh, boy. Come through with the come through. Manifestation hand clap. But anyway, that's the thing. It was rescheduled. That's a perfect phrase for that. I'm so glad you said that, because that happened so many times in my life where I had fear. I used to work in daycares. Mm-hmm. And I was so scared to apply for a hospital position because I had no experience. So I pushed it off. But then one day I was like, you know what? I'm going to try. I want to keep on pushing. And I got denied for a lot of times. And I was like, you know what? I thought of the rejections as God had to renew my mind. Because instead of seeing a rejection as a rejection, I saw it as God's protection. But not only that, I thought about it as, oh, at least I know they're reviewing my resumes because I'm getting the rejection letters. So that means at least there is getting to them. And the more time they see my name, more likely they're going to get me. They're going to pick me up for something. Let me put more in, not put all my eggs in one basket and just let it be one position. There. I'm like, let me break into the industry. And God allowed me to break into the healthcare industry from the daycare. And I feared it so much for some years, because fear will what? It will paralyze you.
Exactly.
But faith will help you realize your manifestation and go towards your manifestation. And that's why we want to say it's so important. Because also going into the mental health situation, we have to think about that. Especially in the church. We don't get checked. We push it off. And God has put people with gifts to assist us through our traumas, through our depression, through our anxiety. And we'll pray, but we refuse to take the action to go to therapy, to work through this stuff. And it's something that I had to do. I had to keep on pushing forward, moving forward with it. And now I know the reason why I do the things that I do. Now I know, how to work through it and still growing within the mental health realm. So manifestation, great mental health is something that is so important to me. In addition to having a renewed relationship with Jesus Christ and getting better and better and better, and just completely having just crazy faith, with Jesus Christ.
Exactly, because crazy faith is like the most amazing thing. It's an amazing feeling, should I say. Because, they say, even though it says faith is the substance of things hoped for, to have that feeling that you can hope for something, it's an amazing feeling. Because that hope always going to keep that manifestation in your eye vision. Because I can hope to get there. But if I don't keep that hope and I let that fear grow stronger, then I start to see the manifestation walk away when I could have been heading straight towards it. I decided to turn around and look at fear and say, let me try you out.
Exactly.
Never try out fear, because fear is going to do nothing but hinder your manifestation.
Yes, fear paralyzes you in time. It weakens you. And trust. Know it for personal experience. Fear. And I noticed for the past few years, I have been in a state of fear. And I noticed that my faith hasn't been as strong because as an adult and certain things that going on in my life all at once, I began to fear. But I'm like coming into the knowledge and continued knowledge of God and who He is. We have to make sure that we're walking in faith, because when you have fear, it will choke the faith out of you. Literally. It will choke the faith out of you. But just like the opposite. You have faith regardless of what you see. What's going to happen is the faith will choke out fear. And that's what you want. You want a pure WWE SmackDown session with fear. Okay? You need to get
People's
your
elbow
Roman
that thing.
Reigns on and rain down on that fear.
People elbow that fear.
Yeah.
Curb stomp that fear.
Mm-hmm.
Spear that fear.
Yes. Yes, I'm here for all of it. And so that's where, it comes into play. That's where it comes into play. We need to start getting into where we're overcoming fear, because we're never going to get to God's destiny for us. And then another thing, whether you know it or not, your life is a ministry. And if we say we're followers of Christ and we have fear, people are like, I don't want to be around you. Or I don't believe what you're saying about Christ, because if they have faith, even though it may not be in Christ, if they have faith and they're optimistic about things and you're not, you're a Debbie Downer, you always think that something negative is going to happen, and you don't work towards your goals, you're like, oh, I'm not going to even try because it's not going to happen anyway. And then before you know it, guess what? You're manifesting disaster. You're manifesting depression. You're manifesting peril in your life. You can manifest negativity.
I was about to say, isn't it crazy that manifestation is on both ends of the spectrum?
Period.
But there's only one thing that's difference. When you put fear out there, fear is what you get. But when you put faith out there, faith and goodness is what you get. So why would I continue to put fear and let the horrors of my life come on me when I can literally just put my faith in God and know that my abundance is right there in my manifestation? Manifestation and abundance. That's the way I want to go. I don't want to go through fear and poverty. Manifestation and abundance, fear and poverty. Which one will you choose?
Exactly, because people don't understand we have spiritual poverty. We always talk about financial poverty. But what about the spiritual poverty? What about the mental poverty? What about the emotional poverty? And that's what we don't understand. When we speak those negative things, we're bringing all of that in our lives, and then it spreads like a virus to everyone in your family. If you have kids, you're doubting all the time. Something negative is going to happen all the time. They envelop that fear spirit. They don't have that faith spirit. And the thing is, with kids are so innocent and they're joyful and they're adventurous, and God, Jesus is like, be like a child. But a lot of the times we fear because we're like, because we have more knowledge of things, we're like, oh, we have more stuff to fear, because we're like, oh my gosh, there was a car accident. I don't want to go on the expressway. anymore, or there was a robbery at the 7-Eleven. I don't want to go through 7-Elevens anymore. Oh, there is this that happened there, or you know what I'm saying? And before you know it, you're not doing anything because you're rolling in fear. You're living in fear, and before you know it, you're just isolated to yourself because you cannot function, which is why reading our Bible, getting that relationship with God so you can get that fear out of your system. Also,
What?
also,
Gotta get fear out of your system. Hey, gotta get fear out of your system. Hey.
yes, get it out of your system. And always believe that good things are about to happen. By being open to new possibilities, you are inviting abundance into your life. So keep faith on 100 every day.
And abundance is on the way.
Right. Speak it. Because what is it? Life and death is in the power of the tongue.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to speak life like, oh, you know what? My relationship with God is going to be better than it was yesterday. You know, my finances are going to be better than it was yesterday. My mental health going to be better than it was yesterday. My family's going to be better than it was yesterday. My goals are going to be better than it was yesterday.
What does KB say? 100, nothing less. 100 and nothing less. All I really know is 100. And that's how you got to be when it comes to faith. You got to be 100% there. You can't have semi-faith.
Right. You can't be PRN or part-time with
Exactly.
faith.
No part-time faithfulness.
You can't be a contract worker with your faith. You can't clock in. You can't even be hourly, though. You can't even be hourly. You have to be 24/7. It's something that's who you are. But what we also got to do is meditate for 5 minutes a day. During this time, focus on how you want your life to be, but place your focus on how you feel and feel that feeling as if you have already accomplished those goals. So take a moment to yourself. A lot of times we feel as if we don't have 5 minutes. But
exactly.
we do. Why are you even using a restroom? You can meditate.
Exactly.
In the bath.
And sometimes, shoot, you could do it in your bath, on the toilet. You could do it while you sleep. And people should know what I mean when I say that. Because you think of everything while you sleep for some reason. So many different things pop in your head.
Exactly.
For some reason, you had that dream about Chucky chasing you or something like that.
You know what? I'm going to be done with you for today.
No, seriously. I really had that dream in the past.
I know you did.
But in the dream, I still had faith. And I told... No, seriously.
Yes.
Seriously. I still had faith. And I said, devil, I bind you in the name of Jesus. And when I tell you, Chucky just froze and couldn't move. I was like, yes, Lord.
Chucky had to flee.
Chucky had to flee.
Chucky had to flee.
The devil could not stand in the place with God.
Period. Now, number 7. Step outside of your comfort zone. Stop playing it safe and make the decision to finally go for your dreams. Like we were discussing earlier. You will never get to your manifestation that God has for you if you don't act. And if you don't get out your comfortable zone. And the thing is, a lot of times we try to stay in our comfort zone, but at the end it makes us uncomfortable. Because just like that comfortable job that you're trying to say because it's for stability and you know you're going to get insurance and the benefits, that's the thing that's stressing you out. That's the thing that's making your blood pressure go up. That's what's making your you have health problems. That's what's making you not being able to see your kids. That's what's making you not able to see your wife or husband. That's what's making you not able, most of all, to spend time with God. And you wonder why you don't have the same zeal for the Lord anymore.
You have
so
to.
You gotta get uncomfortable. Choose your uncomfortable. Do you want to be uncomfortable? because of fear, or do you want to be uncomfortable because of faith? And it gets you a little bit, and